What's up, Guardians? Welcome to another Destiny gameplay video. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys one of my strategies to stay sharp in the Crucible, and that's forcing yourself to play with a handicap. So in this case, what I did is I decided to play for a couple of days on my wife's account. Now, she doesn't have any high-level characters. She only plays PvE maybe once or twice a week, and that's about it. So I'm playing Crucible on her characters. I'm the only one who plays Crucible on her characters, so all the matchmaking is still catered towards my skill level. Now, I'm playing with a handicap because that means that I've got no good gear. In fact, in this video, the best weapon I'm going to use is blue. And so you're forcing yourself to remain strategic and to force yourself to play with, a lot of strategy as opposed to playing with a lot of good weapons. So you're relying less on the power of your gear and more on the power of your mind. And so one of the ways that I handicapped myself, and it actually paid off in some pretty huge dividends, was using a sniper rifle that's low level, and it has atrocious aim assist. Now, when you do that, when you force yourself to play with a handicap like that, you're relying less on aim assist, and so what that's doing is it's forcing you to become more accurate. And so this sniper is absolutely terrible. I don't recommend using it if you're playing competitively, but as a training exercise, this isn't a bad call, going with some of these older sniper rifles that you probably dismantled a long time ago. Getting these weapons out, and once you get into a groove with them, if you jump back into the standard Crucible with your standard gear, with your good sniper rifles, right, your legendaries that have good aim assist on them, you are going to be on point with your shots. And so, even being able to do these like jump shots and stuff like this with these old sniper rifles, these bad rifles, rifles that are actually pretty terrible. Once you get into a groove with these rifles and then you switch over, you're going to be money in terms of your shots. So handicapping yourself with these bad weapons, especially the sniper rifles, can really help make you a more accurate player. So another handicap here is since I'm using in this footage a white pulse rifle, I'm going to have to make good use of my cover. So get strategic with the way that you use cover. So I actually just ran around and approached from the bottom here. Now I'm hurt again. I'm going to drop down and take more cover and come up these stairs towards my teammates and kind of help use them as a distraction and use them as cover, because you can actually use teammates as cover. So I'm having to pop in and out of cover as I go because frankly my weapons aren't that great. And then now I pop my super because I got it up, and I'm kind of going zigzaggy from cover to cover. And now I'm pushing forward even with low health, and so you'll see me zigzag my way towards that door just so I'm harder to hit. Now I'm using that pillar as cover. Now I'm using this corner of this wall as cover, and using my my equipment to wrap up kills. So get creative with the way that you use cover. Don't be super two-dimensional in the way that you move around the map. Now, like I said, teammates can be cover, and here's a good example of that. I managed to take this guy out. But not before he kills my friend. So I'm moving up on the revive, but pause here for a second. I noticed that I've got a guy chasing me. He's hot on my heels. So I can either challenge with no shield and low health, or what I'm thinking is I'm going to revive my teammate. We're both going to have over shields. So this guy's going to come around the corner to two shielded opponents, and we can double team this guy pretty easily. And sure enough, it makes for 100 points for me and 100 points for my teammate, and no deaths. So here's another example of using a teammate as cover. I get tagged, 3 times with Thorn mid-super. So I could push this guy and try and get the super kill, but I'm thinking, I don't want to burn out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this box for cover and get the revive, and then we're going to double team this guy. And sure enough, that works. So you can use teammates as cover. Now here's an instance where this guy's rocket is tracking me, but I know there's this tall pillar to my right. So I miss my snipe, so I'm just going to jump into this pillar and make the rocket hit it, jump back up, I get the snipe, and then I move behind the pillar again. So get a little creative with the ways that you use your cover. Now the last thing I want to talk about is forcing tilt. Now if you don't know what that means, let me explain. So here at the beginning of the match, this was my only death. I get picked off immediately by this guy with red death and firebolt grenades, and then he takes out the rest of my team. So I'm thinking at this point, okay, this guy is probably going to be a major threat during this game. So I'm thinking I want to get under his skin. Now if you don't know what tilt is, go check out a video by Tashed. He's a friend of mine. He's on the Planet Destiny crew. I'll put a link to his video in the description below. But he talks about tilt and how tilt is essentially when you have an emotional reaction to the game that's very negative. So I want to force tilt on their #1 player. I want to get under his skin. I want to make him mad because it's going to make him reckless. It's going to make him make bad decisions. So I'm now playing a game called Let's See If We Can Win the Match Without Leaving This Big Room. So I'm just going to focus on controlling 1/4 of the map, this whole backside of the map here. And I'm going to get under this guy's skin. So now he knows I'm in here. I've killed him a couple of times now. And so I'm going to just try and force him to be like, oh, this guy's camping. I want to come get him. And so sure enough, this guy keeps coming back. And I just keep taking him out. Actually, I go on a 21 kill streak, and most of it is actually this guy trying to come for me. And so what I'm doing is I'm taking his attention off of my teammates. He's going to be a little bit more tunnel visioned, and he's going to start getting reckless. He's going to be like, man, I have to take this guy out. So he's going to be sprinting back towards this room, and a couple of times I'm actually going to step out of the room and look towards the spawn points to try and catch him mid-sprint because he thinks I'm going to be camping in this room. He's not expecting me to step out, and so I do step out and engage him, and I catch him off guard because that's kind of what I got to do if he has better gear like Red Death and these firebolt grenades. And so now I'm controlling this room, I'm stepping out looking for this guy, and I'm going to just continue to challenge him and get underneath his skin, and it works. It works big time. So here he comes for me. I miss the snipe, but I get a couple of bursts into him and then drop a grenade and do a melee. Now he self-reses, and so at this point I know I'm under his skin because he's willing to self-res for 1 kill. So what's better than getting a team wipe? Well, what's better than that is using your super to shut down the super of the guy who's #1 on their team. So this works. Now we're under his skin, and he just can't help himself. He's coming straight back to this room time and time again. And I'm managing to drop him each time. I actually go on a 21 kill streak here and finish the game 21-1. And this is sometimes a good strategy just to force one of their best players. Just take them out of the game entirely by forcing them to be reckless and forcing them to try and come at you time and time again. And I'm actually like stepping out occasionally to challenge him mid-sprint because he's expecting me to be camping in this room. So I actually just poke my head out and challenge him while he's sprinting to take advantage of the fact that he's not ready for it. And then even now, here I get to snipe him off of a revive, and just adds more fuel to the fire. So this goes on for the rest of the game, and I'm able to wrap this game up on a 21 kill streak, go 21-1. And successfully took their best player out of the game. So sometimes you can just manipulate other players by sort of controlling their emotions a little bit, trying to really force them to take a hard look at the way that they're going to approach various situations. And I was able to make him reckless. And so yeah, I hope some of these tips and these strategies help you out. Really challenge you guys to just give yourself a personal handicap. Use some bad gear, some whites, some greens, some blues, and force your mind to be a bigger factor than your gear. And that's going to challenge you to be a better player. The more that you rely on gear, the less prepared you're going to be when various changes come to the Crucible. So if you're relying heavily on things like Thorn at the last word right now, because of their ease to get kills quickly, I don't look down on players who use them, but you are kind of doing yourself a disservice because it's pretty obvious that some changes are going to come to those weapons down the road. So you want to be prepared for that, and you want to be able to compensate for that. So I hope this is helpful, guys. Thanks for stopping by.